Hello and welcome to Angora Poets World Cafe on this Sunday, July 25th. That's the day. And we're going to start with six very fine poets, including one, Nursel, who has just signed up to have a book published by a major Turkish publisher. Give her a hand, everybody. Give her a hand. Another Angora that got a recent book published. We are the Mouse That Roars, and I'm Mo Sigger, and I'm your blur-faced poet for today because my cheap technology, this is the best I can get. So that's who I am, and that's who we are, and we're about to begin. And I got to say this: I love hosting at 2 o'clock afternoon in the United States in Pittsburgh because I usually host at 8 o'clock at night in Paris. So I'm on the same time zone with the New Yorkers, and that feels kind of weird in a good way. So welcome, everybody. And we will begin with our first poet who's in Florence, Italy. Florence, Italy, enjoying that beautiful city. And so let's turn it over to Bill Strangmeyer. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Mo. Hi, everybody. Okay, in honor of being in Italy, there's a Sicilian poet that I like very much called Leonardo Sciascia, and I've translated one of his poems, and I'll read the translation first and then his poem called This Wintry. The blown up day, an opalescent pane of glass, the fragile heavy thing, perhaps a shriek, and the trees will answer, crumbling with a creaky gripe. Frozen, the light will fall, but abruptly, like a knife slice, the sun goes down the open road on the winds that blow in the antique stores. To exist, to scratch the lead slab of troubled boredom, to ask of the lead its illusion of a silver soul, a slash of light's glow like sometimes seen in a shop for old stuff. Invernale. Il giorno soffiato in un vetro torbido, le cose fragili e grevi, forse ad un grido, gli alberi crolleranno in suono stridula, crollerà gelida la luce, ma improvviso come una lama, il sole scende nella strada aperta ai venti, riluce nelle antiche botteghe, esistere, scalpire la lastra di piombo della noia, chiedere al piombo la sua illusoria anima d'argento, ad uno squarcio di luce splendere come nelle botteghe vecchie cose. I like him very much.
Bravo, Bill. Bravo. How long have you been learning Italian?
For years, but seriously, only the last year or two.
Okay. Well, that very good. And you're translating now. That's wonderful. Okay. So let us hear number two, Bill.
Yeah, I brought a bunch of poems that I translated into Italian, but I will not inflict that upon you. My translation into Italian, just the ones I brought along. Okay, it starts with a quote. Children don't know the meaning of yesterday, of the day before yesterday, or even of tomorrow. Everything is this, now. The street is this, the doorway is this, the stairs are this is mama, this is papa, this is the day, this is the night. That's from Elena Ferrante. Childhood tears determine fate. Fixed in my memory, but blended together, a mixture of illnesses, boxed in a room filled with light that I reddened like fire and had to get out. By the window, of course, it can fly. I hold on to the frame that should shift me to wings and away, but the fever has changed it. The window goes out, but not up. It swings like a wing. I'm out over the street, and I know I'm in danger, and no one will come. They do not understand, do not know why I'm angry, do I? But I belong to this family, should be happy I'm me. It should be that. Why so hard to tell the words? Why so hard to fly along the sidewalk? But dreams are not eternity, and seasons overcome each past one in its turn. Spring airs out the house, and lolling on my bed, I fly the breeze and clouds, freed from winter in that snow of wilderness, the prey of low dark beasts, and stumbling through the winding sheets about my feet, the sheets. I was awake from the daydreams and fancies to make-believe of life. A child lives in a make-believe that's beaten and soothed into form by adults, and often cannot grasp the reason for the tragedy of human life, that most of them are not the way they claim, are dimmed by lies and pain, cannot live love, although they say it all the time, and will not clear the fog away. A child treated as stupid and bad can be told that he's smart, that he'll know. A child told he's stupid and bad, expected to know, will not know. And what we know is all the burdens we have borne unseen until the day we see. And then the world will tell us that the broken dreams and dreams come true were all creations of the fads and fancies of the fools who had our ear. The story goes until the anticlimax horror rosebud or the comic end, when all the threads come loose into normality or together in a well-earned violence. And maybe only you will know, or maybe only you will not.
I like that. I like that.
Thank
What?
you.
Yeah, that's very good. I like the beginning too, the where you started, looking, opening, what is opening, what's behind the door, out the window, those things like that that children come upon.
Yeah. And
I
well,
think that's
that was a fever dream when I had measles, I think.
okay. All right. I think it's good to start out like that, very simple, and you made it dynamic with that ending. So how about Three's a Charm, Mr. Bill?
Okay, start with a quote from Leonardo Sciascia. Il silenzio è vorace sulle cose, mutare il nulla in parole. Silence eats things greedily, uh, and nothing is changed by words. It's called Words of the Prophet. We do not care for the coming storm, for we are immortal. Our lives as spoiled children are sacred to God, our protector. The ways of our people are nothing to me, for I would be rich. What has been lost are merely the wages of growth in my life. And I will talk for hours just to teach you who I am and why. The voices never wane, nor do they lower, nor ever cut off short. The sky spreads pink and blue and orange, oil black at times. And we, ambitious for that sky, will fill it full of our long jokes. The colors now are ours, and we the gestures who brought down the kings. So here is how we'll lay the law atop your sheepish grins. The east and west will now be up and down, both flat, and all you think you know is turned and crushed to dust. The liturgy is banned, and pop songs now shall smirk our hymns. Your dreams shall now be made to feed my golden reveries, and you shall listen as I fill to the top the void I see and hate with all my script. But now for me, the grumbler. Today on the metro I spied a young maiden all wrapped in matty rags, a thin gold ring smart in her nose, sunburst mussed hair, and a full-lipped smile to light up the dullest train, hurling on to the boy she loved, he moving slowly, not by tactic but from shyness, he presenting technique, she the spark, both intoxicated by their joy, just like in the old days when I could still fall, ere chirruping was yoked and whipped and bound to copyright. That's it.
Okay. So I'm dying to ask you, you begin the poem with words change nothing, and you are a poet. Your reply.
Modesty forbids that I should respond.
Curiosity begs that you do.
Well, we shout and scream and complain, and what does it change amongst the ruling the ruling chimpanzees up there in their towers with their names on it, and how does it change anything? You know?
Okay. Now, I agree with you on that because as an investigative journalist, when I and others did all the fact finding for, against wars and corruption, we virtually changed nothing, Bill. Nothing,
Yeah.
even though we were credited as being good investigators. But what
Well,
strikes go
sorry,
ahead.
Mo.
Yeah, go.
Uh, um, just about the only Western religion I have some respect for is what the Vikings believed, that it was all doomed to failure, but we were obliged to fight on the side of good anyway. Whether we go down in flames or not, we are obliged to fight for good. Even if nothing changes, nothing, we can do nothing. We have to keep fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have heard other people say similar to that, like you don't want to live a life in resignation. So, right. I always say, against the odds, we stay in the game. You know, and say we win. We just and finally, Bill, because so many poets over so many poems have said words are meaningless, my words mean nothing, and then they go on for these very long poems with lots and lots of words. So
Well,
there you go.
I stopped writing poems that long because I never get to read them.
Oh, well, now you're on Angora, baby, and we want to hear the whole tilt boogie. So, like I said, we don't have a bell, we don't have a whistle, we don't have a hook, and this ain't the Gong Show. So, thank you, Bill. And
Okay.
now, uh, I think now, who wanted to come on next? It was that you, Dharma Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, so people, let us move from Florence, Italy, to another side of the world, San Francisco. And let's invite on Dave Rorschach or Dharma Dave. You're on, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks, Mo. Hi, everybody. Uh, yeah, I think we got to give it we got to play the game best we can, and even if it's futile ultimately. Who knows? Blue pyramid, blue moon, evening in a blue room, barely autumn, quietly drifting along into winter. I see a month gone and a full moon, electric frenzy beneath the blue pyramid, gleaming in the hieroglyphic dark, mysteries so far away from all that we know. Sphinx images, lions in the night, lines of darkness. Greatly moved beneath your moon and your stars, but where, in what nighted desert, stands that blue pyramid? There is yet more to tell, for this is no museum in which hangs a tapestry of words that the desert sands blow through. Seek not to solve the mystery. Relax in the desert night.
I say, I say applause meter, and the double click New York chic. All right, Dave, that was good, and I agree. Personally, I agree with you. I can't solve all the mysteries, so let's just imagine in them and feel good in them, and let Nikola Tesla and the conspiracy freaks. No, I like Tesla, but between Nikola Tesla and the conspiracy freaks, let them go for broke.
That's right. That's
It's a
no
mystery.
skin off my
It's a
nose
mystery.
if they act crazy.
All right. All right, Dave. Number two, please.
Number two. Firebird. From the fire's ashes, the phoenix shall rise again. Phoenix, life, death, and rebirth. Broken hearts around broken fires. Were you once a druid? I have seen your eyes dark in the firelight. These trees cast weird shadows. Have you seen the shaman? Dancing arms flying, the flames lick about his waist. Chanting, chanting, chanting. I have seen your eyes dark in the firelight. The flame light rises up, all at once alive. That which dies can live again. Oh, the stories I could tell about countless descents and reascents, but my memories are clouded. There is a lock upon my mind and shackles on my heart. How I wish that I could burst them and rise up again like a phoenix, all golden and red, bathed in flame. The stars were different then, beneath the druid fire. Were you there? Some of that light seems to reflect from your eyes. Could the phoenix leap again out of the fire into the full bloom of memory?
Yes, the full flame of memory, for better or worse, in my case. All
Yeah.
right, all right, Dharma Dave, lay on us. Three's a charm,
Three's a
baby.
charm, huh? Okay. Here's a short one about high up in the mountains. High Sierra, the lake is ice blue, and higher are the white peaks where ice giants play. The mountains gleam from far away. In the sunset on the lake, the shaggy man howls at the wind. You're muted, Mo. Mo, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. The great things you're saying because you're muted.
Yeah, well, that would be me. That would be me. Limited storage space. I'm one of those people with limited self storage. I was just saying. I was also answering someone saying, "How do I get into Angora Poets?" So I was typing out. Anyway, thank you very much, Dharma,
Thank you.
for your Dharma, and that was very nice. Thank you. Okay, now. Now we are coming to and let's say hi to Jane. Hello, Jane. Spoken word. And where in the world are you at this moment, Jane?
Today I'm in Boston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This woman gets around, folks. New Orleans, New York, Boston. And we all had, I checked in with people who had great satisfaction with you hosting and as a poet. So,
Oh, it was a gas. It was a gas. I had a great time. Thank you for asking.
okay, good. And as I mentioned to the other poets, it was the first time in 16 months I took a Zoom day off from Angora, thanks to you. So, all right, we'll get to you, Jane. We'll get to you.
Cool.
And now we'll go to poet number 3, or was that performer number 3? Kareem.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So, my first poem is in French.
Can't hear you, Karim.
On t'entend pas super bien, Karim, t'es vachement loin de ton portable.
Okay.
Et
Because
plus haute, le volume, Kareem,
can
plus
you
haute.
hear me?
On
Mieux,
t'entend
c'est
vraiment pas
mieux, mais
fort.
pas exact.
Okay. Maybe it's a problem of my phone.
I think maybe if you get closer to your microphone,
Okay. Can you hear me now?
yes,
Better.
I can. It's better.
Okay. Okay. So I'll check my phone like that.
Mhm.
You're on, Kareem, a singer, songwriter, bilingual.
The
Kareem
first
Jafara.
the first poem is in French. It's called Cold Rain. Cold Rain. Une pluie froide se réchauffe à nos lèvres. Parfois au dehors, profond comme ailleurs, les nôtres se réveillent, sans règle au bout des doigts, mais avec dignité, humble. Parfois au dehors, naît une sœur, un frère, un ami, qui sans le savoir, et rien qu'en étant, déjà berce l'espoir et tire un trait sur avant. Parfois au dehors, demain se dessine. Mon choix, c'est l'effort, la Mecque, Médine. Parfois au dehors, un cri sans fin se targue de chanter à l'amour un doux refrain. Une pluie froide, à l'ombre sûre, fait une balade entre ciel et terre, dans l'air pur. La lumière jaillit claire comme une gêne blanche, de l'orée d'un bois aux ramures de cerf. Est-ce une vérité, un souhait ou une prière? Déjà tu plies, roseau idéal au vent suspendu, corps astral de sang et de chair paré, pour seul but l'infini, ni plus ni moins que le désir de persister aux saisons végétales, préservant ce qui ne s'oublie, Dieu.
Nice, bravo. Voilà. Donnez le
Voilà, the first
capture et
poem.
gardez bien.
So maybe I will not sing today because of my phone problem, but I have a second poem.
Please.
Excuse me. La primeur de l'intention.
Le,
La
encore?
primeur de l'intention.
Okay. Now, give us a brief description of your poem.
I haven't read these poems since a long time. La primeur de l'intention, it's the first thing you think before of feeling or doing something. I don't know if I translate really good, but
No, we could. La première attention is our first thought.
tout à fait.
Tout à fait, our first thought. Okay, allez, go, Karim.
Le silence ne brise rien en nous. Les pensées et les mots offerts en écho à l'incongru, ondes lascives, fréquences nues. L'absence ou de l'assise debout, je suis ta frontière, ton ubiquité, ton étendard. Le regard fuyant vers le fond de mon âme, elle insiste, se tait et me devine. Nage l'œil embué par ce qui me semble mirage, et la certitude qu'elle aimera un instant. Non sans alarme, sans que cela ne dure, en nous la même essence au seuil de l'esprit pur. Il est des états, des transes intérieures, caresse de ce que l'on est, offerte à l'altérité sûre que Dieu nous livre. Si son prochain vivant ou mort se lie au destin commun de celles qui ne sont vraiment ivres que devant le bonheur des autres, devant les délices d'un bon livre, et si nos icônes s'ébranlent, se figent et meurent, c'est que nous sommes libres enfin, libres enfin.
Free at last. Free at last. Okay. Wow. Quelle première réflexion on wake up. Ouais.
Maybe one day when I woke up, I don't know really the circumstances.
Quelle vision. What a vision. All right, that's great. And now you want to give us three's a charm.
With pleasure. This called Marianne. It's first name. Qu'ai-je donc à fuir pour être si prompt et si las? Que m'as-tu fait, ombre au mur accroché, qu'il me faille jouir de la création? Parfois m'ennuie au point de tirer un trait sur cet ovale suave invitant au repos. Puis c'est toi qui transpires, à l'effort résolu. Le sens de tes mots s'épuise à ne plus nous toucher. Une simple idée, demain, encore s'agenouillera, pimpant de gloire, humble d'avoir cru et d'encore croire devant notre ciel commun. Puis c'est encore toi, ma belle, qui prendras la large part de ce qui t'est dû, dans l'immensité minérale du plaisir promis. Qu'as-tu donc à rester en mon cœur, là, avec Dieu? Fugace souvenir ou de l'acceptation de ce qui nous vient, de ce qui convient à un cœur qui ne sait qu'une chose en somme, crayonne puis gomme, s'imagine comme. Au cœur de la ville, c'est comme l'amour naissant et le pressentiment qui fige le beau. Au revers d'une flaque anonyme, le ciel d'une fine pluie parée que la lune tutoie. Gitane blonde à la parure argentée, toi qui sais les promesses, qui lis les serments à la nuit vouée, qui attire même l'onde massive et noire et bleue, danse mutine en un monde sans air, mutique d'apparence et lasse de penser le monde et son chaos, féconde à faire naître les poétesses et froide pour asservir les cœurs indolents à une cause plus que belle, nécessaire, prose.
Okay. We're okay. And we had a full moon 2 nights ago. Le pleine lune, hein? Jeudi soir. Très bien, très bien. You are the full moon. That's great the way you connect that. It'd be nice to see you paint that. That's inspirational and so romantic in an
Thank you.
optimistic. Okay, let's say thank you to our poet, singer, bilingual, Kareem. Excellent. Bravo, Monsieur Poet, chanteur. Okay, so now we are going to move. I think next is to Caroline. Yes, bringing you someone from Paris in France who's trilingual. We have
Uh,
Caroline.
let's begin with first poem. Ah, mais merde, c'est pas le bon. Well, the first one. It's a love poem in French, and after I will read to Leo to complete that in English. So, seul sur le quai, assis songeur, les yeux dans l'eau, après l'effort, le réconfort, repos du guerrier. Là-bas, les musiciens qui baratinent, tandis qu'il lui reste encore tout le matos à remballer. Il est bien là, peinard, à mater de loin. Tirer son coup, il dirait pas non, mais c'est la tendresse qui le dérange. Ça pique, la tendresse. C'est un coup à y prendre goût, un coup à se ramollir, et s'il se ramollit, il y a un tel brasier de rage qui bouillonne en lui, tout cet amour compressé, un coup à exploser, se consumer, ou pire, à fondre. La honte. Alors il reste là, à ruminer, assis sur ce quai. Il ne sent pas la morsure du froid. Sur son bras, là, il sent encore sa main. Il la regarde au loin, s'arrêtant un instant avec chacun, sauf ici, auprès de lui. Il est caché. Il replonge ses yeux dans l'eau, il s'y noie bien profond avec le limon, et cette chaleur sur son bras qui doucement l'envahit. Il ne veut pas sentir ça. Tout mais pas ça, pas la douceur à réveiller sa vieille douleur, son ennemi intime, qui vibre là tout en bas. Alors il l'enfume, il la gèle, il la noie. L'eau l'apaise. Il tripe sur ses miroitements et il y cherche des rythmes. Et cette main chaude sur son bras, là, que pour moi. Si seulement c'était que du cul. Mais non, quand elle le regarde, on dirait qu'elle regarde direct au fond, là où il fait noir. Elle fait genre, elle est gentille. Elle fait genre, il n'y a rien à craindre, un peu comme l'infirmière avant de désinfecter. Attention, ça va piquer, allez. Je souffle. Elle n'y connaît rien. Faut pas éclairer son chaos intérieur. C'est un terrain miné. Elle avance à tâtons et ça fait mal. À chaque touche, une mine qui pète. Il a déjà assez encaissé. Pas envie de remettre ça. S'aimer, ça fait trop mal. Il ne la laissera jamais approcher plus. Bonjour, bonsoir, c'est tout. Le minimum syndical. Ne rien montrer de sa gêne. Un gentleman. Bonsoir. Quand on se cache, c'est pour être trouvé. Il en perd ses mots. Et dans ses yeux, le silence de l'eau qui se reflète. Ah, elle aime. Elle aimerait bien rester ici à écouter ses yeux, si bleus comme le bleu des cieux, assis peinard au bord du quai. Mais sa copine arrive et l'entraîne, au loin. Il faut partir maintenant. À une prochaine. Au chaud dans son cœur, elle emporte ce moment, sa main toute froide sur son bras chaud.
Yes, oui, oui, bravo. Ouais, voilà, c'est la vie comme ça. Contre le douleur et le peur, la tendresse, comme tu dis, le tenderness against all this.
Mm.
Felt those people with eyes of stone. Wow, what a weapon. Tenderness, what a weapon. Maybe that's a misnomer, calling it a weapon. OK, Caroline, merci beaucoup pour le poésie enfoncée, la tendresse supérieure. Et voilà, le deuxième poème. Give us your second.
The second one will be in English. I just wrote it today and traduced it during the beginning of the Angora. So it's very... il est tout frais pour vous ce soir.
Hot off the press. Okay.
It's completing the first one. His hand on my hip, saying, I'm here. My heart smiling, like when I'm coming back home. From the small of my back, his hand is taking me. I let me go, bending in his tender arm, so gentle to love. But wait a minute. I'm single. The kiss on my lips diverts his way to his cheek. The time to come back to present, recover senses, and regret.
Nice. Yes. So you pass those tender moments and move on, huh? Oh.
It's such impossible stories. Never the good moment too.
Yeah, I feel you.
Attends, je branche l'ordinateur.
Okay, plug it in. All right. And we'll wait for Three's a Charm.
Yeah,
that was a good teasing poem. That was a teaser of good quality. Woo. I think everybody can relate to that, or should.
Such a...
Now,
the
you
third
know, you know I like to provoke. So in that manner, was there a certain individual you're writing about? Who?
I was well, I wrote those two poems thinking to the same boy, not boy but man, but
Yeah.
it was the same person, but the same muse. And the
Okay.
muse, it's an old muse, but c'est une bonne muse. Ça a
Okay.
foiré, mais
Yeah.
c'est une bonne
An
muse.
old memory, but a good memory. Yeah, dig that.
Good to write
Okay.
poems too.
Yeah. If they only knew what we write about them post relationship.
I don't know if it. No, I don't think he knows I wrote poems about him.
Right.
I never. J'ai pas eu le courage de lui envoyer. J'ai
You
peur
don't
que
have
je
the
le trouve pas
courage to mail
super
them.
bien.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look before you leap. I get it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to get now, Carolina. We're going
Um,
to get Three's a Charm.
yeah, the third one I was traducing it, so I will finish the traduction in direct. It's a very short one, about desire and social distanciation. It's an actual poem. Beyond his t-shirt, I decrypt the flesh outcrops, muscles, articulations, no, muscle joints, bones and tendons, caressing by look, picking up the topography of his body. If I close my eyes from the uh, tip of my fingers, I can feel the um, um, oh merde, j'ai pas le mot. I can feel his face, uh, his lips, les courbes de ses lèvres, um, um, warm of his hands and of mine, and that's it.
Well, that's a pretty good feeling, I got to say. Uh, that's a complete story. That's a wrap on that romantic moment. That's great, Caroline. And you translated it along the way. That's
Yeah.
great. Because there's nothing that's cool for a working poet like you are, like we are, to come across and say, I'm going to wing this and give it to you as it comes through. That's nice. It's nice to see us do a work in progress for each other. That's great. Okay. Thank you, Caroline. Merci beaucoup. En anglais, en français. Et peut-être en deuxième ronde, tu peux rendre en espagnol si tu veux. You can read in Spanish in the second round if you like. We love it. Okay, and we love it when okay, now we are going to move to a beautiful town close to Istanbul. Istanbul, as we say, to a to our poet Narcel, and we will repeat that Narcel has just gotten the green light to have her collection of poetry published in Istanbul by a major publisher called Art Shop. And when this book comes out, Narcel's going to alert us how to get it. So we want to congratulate Narcel for that achievement because she's such a fine poet. And so, as a fine poet, here's what we'll do as we do. Narcel does not read in English, so I will read one of her poems in English, and she will follow in Turkish. And that's how we do it here, because that's how we do it. So let me scroll up to your. Okay, Narcel, the first poem in English, Tears of Poetry. Narcel, Tears of Poetry. Daisies bloom sadly in the glacial fires of your heart. In which poem do I fit with my wistful heart. Pansies in your disloyal heart. My word does not pass into my own mind. My hopes melted in snowflake stars. I took to naphthalene embroideries out of the chest. It rains on my memories. When the artery is cut, it bleeds. It seeps into turpentine scented wine barrels. A pair of cufflinks in your heart. I am the keeper of poems at the door of sadness. Rimbaud's last two lines are torn. I'm sewing it with a ruby colored thread. My heart searches for your own mossy boulevards. Swallows will bring spring to the heart of stone. My enchanted wine pen, my wine pen, writes symphonies and poems. The stars that will clap and dance are in this universe. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, Narcel, please, for you, Narcel. No, but we cannot hear you, Narcel. Unmute. No, still cannot hear you. Yes.
Şiirin gözyaşları, kalbinin buzul ateşlerinde kederle açar papatyalar. Hangi şiire sığarım efkarlı yüreğimle? Vefasız kalbinde hercai menekşeler. Geçmez kendi aklıma sözüm, eridi umutlarım kar tanesi yıldızlarda. Çıkardım sandıktan naftalinli nakışları. Hatıralarımın üstüne yağmurlar yağar. Atar damarı kesik zamanın kanar. Sızıyor terebent kokulu şarap fıçılarına. Yüreğimde bir çift kol düğmesi. Hüzün kapısında şiirlerin bekçisiyim ben. Rimbaud'un son iki dizesi yırtılmış. Dikiyorum yakut renkli iplikle. Yüreğim seni arar bulvarlarda. Baharlar getirecek kırlangıçlar taşın kalbine. Senfoniler, şiirler yazar efsunlu şarabi kalemin. Alkış tutup dans edecek yıldızlar bu evrende. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Narcel. Now, poem number 2 from Narcel is called Homeland and Love. Homeland and Love. I lived my dream with bitter and sweet, the rainflower that gives branches to my sap. Whoop, I'm sorry. Okay, branches. My head has fallen to the wise Mother Earth. Poems from Lorca.
Okay, ne?
Poems from Lorca on my tongue. 1,000 greetings to Nazim's verses. I've been shot from the middle of my two eyebrows. There's a taste of salt in the flow of my blood. Boran, night, the snow is black. Bloodstain oozing from my hood. I wait, my eyes will close, hands of a pair of pigeons, a crane train flies in my eye. My name is written in newspapers as a rogue bandit in love with her people. Okay. Yes, thank you. A rogue bandit in love with her people. That's marvelous. Oh, you are again. Show her your ear muted.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Please poems, name poems, Homeland of Love. Yes?
Yes. Homeland of Love.
Yes. Hmm. Vatan ve aşk. Yaşadığım rüyamı acısıyla, tatlısıyla, öz suyumda dal veren yağmur çiçeği. Düşmüş başım anaç bilge toprağa. Dilimde Lorca'dan şiirler. Nazım'ın dizelerine bin selam eder. Vuruldum iki kaşımın ortasından. Tuz tadı var kanımın akışında. Boran gecede karlar allı karalı. Kaputumdan kan lekesi sızıyor. Beklerim gözlerimi kapatacak bir çift güvercin elini. Gözümde bir turna katarı uçar. Adım yazılır gazetelere. Halkına aşık, serseri bir haydut diye. Thank you.
Thank you, bandit poet in love with her people. That's true patriotism. That is a true act of patriotism in poetry. Okay, now we do number 3 is a charm from Nurse Cell. Here we go. Okay. I suppose you can hear the plane overhead as I'm sitting on my son's back porch deck, just enjoying the good weather. Okay, plane, move on. Okay, so the third poem from Nurcell is called Lunar Eclipse.
Yes.
Lunar Eclipse. You flew close to the star in the silence of the butterfly. Your bright wings far from the star in the cold of death. Breathe, breathe in a ferret. I bid you farewell from bottomless pits. The seas are black in painful waves. Breathe in, breathe in. Do you cut your eyes? The wind, too, being a guest in the cloud, in the blood wheat ear, to be in love, to be heart, to meet in heartfelt friends in the lunar eclipse. Okay. There's a challenge. Yes. Yes. Yes. Okay. For you, Narcel.
Ay tutulması. Yıldıza yakın uçar. Kelebek sessizliğinde. Parlak kanatların yıldızdan çok uzak. Ölüm soğukluğunda. Nefes almak bir gelincikte. Sana veda ediyorum. Dipsiz kuyulardan. Denizler siyaha kesik. Acı dolu dalgalarda. Nefes almak bir gelincikte. Gözün keser mi? Rüzgarda bir buluta konuk olmak. Sarışın buğday başağında. Sevda olmak, yürek olmak, gönül dostlarında buluşmak, ay tutulmasında. Nefes almak bir gelincikte. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Marcel. Yes, very nice. And again, we look forward to the issuance of your new book. It's going to be super. I have read so many of your poems online. You're going to give Pablo Neruda, Poems of Love, a run for his money. And you're so real. You're not a Pollyanna. You know that your heart bleeds and people betray. And then you come back with that challenge. Can you love? I love that. Thank you very much, Narcelle.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Okay, okay. So now we're going to move across the world again to Boston, Massachusetts, and bring on someone who we are so glad that she has returned to Angora after an absence from Facebook and all that stuff. So let me introduce, thank her for hosting Angora last week, and introduce Jane Spoken Word. Hello, Jane.
Hey, hey, poets. How you doing today? I gotta say, Mo, saying Narcelle going to give Neruda a run for his money. That's fucking deep, dude. Shit. All right, I'm going to hit you with the first poem. First piece is called Beat Hotel. It's an older piece. Welcome to my Beat Hotel. Rest your weary word head upon my words. Rumbling soliloquies of joys and heartbreaks, all twisted in drugs and booze and love and hate, half seeing, half dreaming, a living, breathing paradox. Coltrane's Love Supreme, unexpectedly lost. Whores, prostitutes, and junkies on the edge, assassinated memories, left them for dead, in cups of coffee with lovers and late nights and stabbings and needles and bloody fights. We're poets and almost poets, write wordless mites, juggling words in Tompkins Park, smoking and drinking and shooting up, a preferred company of sorrowful sinners, spewing late night confessions from destitute transgressors. Have you seen Willie B? Mr. Burroughs, where you be? Spiking Java in a coffee joint, animated words to make my point, slicing and dicing the beat culture, sharpening talons like hungry vultures, saying their say on reflections heard, quoting Langston's dream deferred, wording us with lines that confuse, saturate the air with whiskey-stained blues, hopeless junkies in one breath, idealistic optimist in the next. The lifeblood of poems before me unfold. The poetry of rock and roll drenched my heartbreak in drunken soul. Beat Hotel.
Yes. And is that for a particular beat hotel as the Chelsea or the one in Saint Michel, Paris? Or is that tell us, is that aimed at one particular location?
No, it's just a combination of places that I visited back when New York was really like its low point in life. And so it was just a combination of all the things that I saw and heard.
Right. St. Mark's Place, right?
Word
up.
Yeah.
You know,
don't go past Avenue Way.
Right. And as so many of us are prone to say, all my heroes were alcoholics and junkies.
Word.
Yeah. Thank goodness that we are not, those of us who've been through it.
Yes, we've survived.
To live to tell about it. Great. Yes. And you're telling about it great. So let's have number 2, please, from you, Jane.
Okay, number two is I had a conversation with Cecil Taylor about Kerouac, and then I watched a special on Kerouac, and I decided to write a piece that I would never have written, never thought of writing. Pretty much my stuff is political heaviness. So this was a piece that was inspired by a conversation with Cecil. A dreamer, I imaginate worlds, the power to create a mind to unfurl. What some find scary, reality is theory taking flight in the night. Are you listening? Did you read the directions to the direction? I'd really like to know which way, that way, which way to go. In my world, it would be my way. Everything would be what it isn't, or what it wouldn't be, or couldn't be, or should be what it is, you see. I was just wondering where you are. Do you suppose to know the way to where you want to go? Does it matter which way you got here? Did you see them disappear? Sound impossible, improbable, impassable, impenetrable? The time has come to talk of other things. When one is lost, one must be found. Go this way, go that way. Sooner or later, you'll be late. Who's got the time? Time? What time? Is it time? Upon arrival, wake up, please, wake up. We are all mad here. I have seen the in-between through a bluntly weed indeed. I beg your pardon. I live in a thought garden, and one pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small, and the one that mother gave you really didn't do anything at all. It's called Otherland.
Okay. That kind of harkens back. All right. The one that mother gives you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how about let's hear Freeze a Charm from you, Jane.
Okay, there is a charm. This is a very new one, probably within the last couple of weeks. Liberated by the written word, I am not my past life blurred. Despite what you've heard, my future transferred from a dactylogram of the past. Now at last, I am this body. I am these emotions. I am the immortal story. I am the beauty in imperfection. Liberated from the shadows of dark, from a tortoise-shelled safety I depart, like an abandoned bus station at the station's park. A poet of the street beat, I'm a motherfucking warrior. I sharpen my pen and shatter all barriers. Poetry released from an incarcerated mind. Flowing bars, I did my time. Getting back to my spit with some new shit.
Oh,
Writing poems
that a
for
wrap,
everyone.
right?
All my relations, my ancestors of the sun. Who but the rhymer will bring truths to bear? Who but the rhymer verse tragedies of despair? Pens dipped in the blood of suffering hearts, cursing deceptions, tearing lies apart, tumbling words that dangle in my throat, conjuring remedies and antidotes, bleeding out into rivers of ink, drowning in rhymes of missing links, where heaven meets hell, no time to think, collecting dreams from broken machines, dripping metaphors and scorching similes, haunting the streets with spoken word poetry. I spit shit you don't want to hear. I spit rhymes to strip you bare. I'm as harmless as a neutron bomb. I hit your shit with chloroform. I'm your audacious, bodacious, beautiful sister, and you better fucking know this sister don't whisper. Peace, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Applause meter. Oh, yeah. You better motherfucking know. This is not the Gong Show. All right. That's great. Wow, that's good. That's a manifesto right inside the poem.
Thank you.
Yes, we will not be dismissed. We will not be silenced. That's
That's
great.
right. That's right.
So, okay, so I have to readmit someone that fell off the screen. Oh, well, that's a new person. So we lost Bill and we're picking up Claire Andriani from Paris. Let's let her come in. Let's give her a moment. Okay. Okay. Hello, Claire. Hello. Yeah. And once again, I like the reference to fluids that both you and Narcelle made about blood and ink. You know, this bleeds and ends up bleeding ink. Both of you referred to that. Yeah, that's real. So let's see if we can get Miss Claire on here. Hello, Claire. Are you there?
I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Great.
Okay. Are we allowed to see you today?
Yeah, but you know what? I'm on the terrace because there are some people at my place, so it's all black.
I see. Okay. And I'm on the terrace in Pittsburgh. So anyway, Claire, glad to have you here. And guess what? You came on just at the right time to be next. Are you ready to recite for us?
No, I can't hear you. All of a sudden, I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm saying, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Are you ready to recite for us? Because you've come up next in the line order.
Okay. Okay. So just wait a second.
Sure.
Okay, I have a text on writing that was written in the beginning of July. The place where I write is this white recess where everything is black, and suddenly, an opening like a half-open door, showing light and a promise, the promise to find what's within and to smile into darkness. A half-open door, promising light, to find light in your heart, enough so that you can transcribe it in words like colorful images, abstract shapes that move around joyfully, waiting for their sound, to exist within and then without, to the human ear, the eye, the second witness, the mouth, the messenger of this transformation, this fusion between the mind and the word that says what's inside, hidden to every door, every ear, non-existent till it shines above the depth of the thought. Writing is also a time when a sense of urgency emerges, the one to transcribe a feeling into thoughts. A time like an open door that needs a greater opening to see the light coming through, or darkness dissolve into dust and give birth to different colors, dancing joyfully through the recesses of your mind and gliding thanks to language, the language that no one speaks but you and your urgency to say what was absent in the past, what was informed, silent but so audible in your heart, burning in your skin, sparkling in your mind, boiling in what people call an idea. Make it into life. Something that needs to be said, the urgency of transmitting, the light from door to door, from light to even greater brightness, to communicate your soul, the beginning of language, the start of humankind, from torch to torch until the fire burns without and doesn't fear darkness, from within to without.
Ooh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. There's some soul-saving advice. All right. And that's a recent poem, Claire, in the beginning of July.
Yeah, July the 12th, to be precise.
Okay.
Yeah.
And may I ask you, have you received a date yet for your 30-minute feature reading?
I haven't heard about Dane. So I'm thinking of contacting him to know if we're actually going to do it in the end of July or in the beginning of August, because maybe he
Oh.
changed his mind.
Uh-huh.
Because I haven't heard from him. So
Okay.
I hope it's going to work.
I have a feeling it is going to work, and it's probably on his calendar when it arrives to give you that date.
Yeah.
I can't see him inviting you and then dropping the idea. That doesn't sound like him.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
all. So
I agree. So do you think I should contact him to make things clear, or I should just wait for him to contact me?
well, I said no. He made the first move. You're perfectly right to say, "What's up, buddy?"
Yeah.
You know, I think you're perfectly appropriate in order to do that. So okay, so are we on poem number 2?
So I read one only, but it was very long. So if you want, I can only read one more.
No, read number 2, please.
Okay, this one is in French. It's called Le Sortilège des deux amants, the spell of the two lovers.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Polyamorous.
So I'm going to try to summarize it, even though it's very abstract. Basically, I think it's lovers in nature and the remembrance of what it is to be loved naturally, unconditionally, like wolves, like wild animals that love each other in like the forest. And so it's opposed to some sort of, institutional love like marriage. And so it's called Le Sortilège des deux amants. L'horizon du jour cligne des yeux. Un espoir divagant m'emporte et transporte mon émoi jusqu'au firmament. Des soleils brûlants sourient à ma porte et m'éloignent tout entière du monde vagabond, de l'atmosphère d'une humanité anéantie par ce que nous taisons. Loin des mirages affables, la nuit m'emporte dans des courants chauds chantant la douce mélodie des amants, tout bleus de leurs yeux charmants, et qui voient le firmament au bout du ciel, vers l'horizon néfaste qui se couche comme un chat hagard après une nuit de chasse. Plantons les arbres de demain, camarades, avant qu'en leur sein, les nourrissons meurent dans les bras coupables de leur mère, regardant sans espoir le mouvement ardent de nos âmes, chanter le cri du loup affamé, messie de la nature qui annonce son arrivée à ses proies tremblantes, aspirant encore au calme d'une nuit enchantée, où proies et chasseurs partageraient les dons et les clameurs d'une douce nuit d'été. Là où les âmes et les songes s'entremêlent comme dans une aquarelle, tout est brumeux et les ânes et les chouettes s'animent dans l'ombre noire, chantant, brayant Shakespeare dans leur langage le plus alerte, faisant peur aux amoureux, sifflant au loin dans la forêt, les conduisant vers une mort certaine, celle de leurs rêves les plus inouïs. Entends les espoirs les plus grands de milieux de mots chuchotés, me conduisant à nouveau vers le firmament, celui d'espoir fougueux, de rêves furieux, là où les âmes sont brisées, mais vivent comme du feu qui ne s'éteint qu'en mon absence. Grand est l'espoir du firmament où les âmes belles se baignent dans des océans de rage. Grands sont les espoirs des doux amants qui nous racontent une histoire, celle de leurs âmes enchantées, fuyant au gré du vent, se promenant comme des nomades aux pouvoirs inattendus, mêlant la réalité et l'espoir, traitant les naïfs du luberlu, chantant des rêves d'amour vaincu. So that was my French one.
Yes, and as the provocateur that I am, have you experienced, is that it, your own experience with two lovers?
No, it's not. It's something that I was inspired from reality, but it's not something that happened to me.
Yes. Now I have tried it in my stupid past, and I have failed miserably, whereby when it was finally disclosed that I had two lovers, you think you got to pick one. Well, as soon as they found out, both of them quit me. Both of them. and I learned my lesson on that.
Oh, I
So,
see. Oh no, but I think you misunderstood, Mo, because this poem is dedicated to two lovers, a man and a woman, two lovers together.
yes,
It's not,
I know.
yeah.
Okay. I, I don't think I misunderstood. I think I just ran with it.
Oh, okay, I see.
I think I ran downfield with it because, you know, uh, because I'm basically decadent, you know. And he said, okay. And anyway, that was really nice, Claire. And so
Thank you.
ma- let's say hi to Patricia Kerrigan in Brooklyn, New York. Hello,
Bye.
Patricia. But we cannot hear you, dear.
Hi, I hope to see you guys next weekend, next Saturday.
Tell us about it. Go ahead, tell it.
Brownstone Poets.
You'll see me for sure.
Okay. What happened to Jack Cooper?
He hasn't been on board for 2 weeks. He dropped off the radar, and I can't explain it. So,
Okay, yeah, because he's usually like. Well, I know
yeah.
I didn't go to the big poetry festival this weekend because I'm not too. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant, even though I'm vaccinated. And
Okay.
because we don't know if all of them have been vaccinated.
Okay. Yeah, that would be true.
It's a little
Okay.
too.
Patricia, what I'd like to ask you, after Claire reads her third poem, Three's a Charm, you would be in order of appearance next.
Okay.
So will you ready yourself for 3 poems after Claire?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll do.
Three's a Charm. Claire, back to you and Three's a Charm.
Mo, we can't hear you now.
Wow, this is I'm
Now
getting
we
a whole
can.
lot of your internet is unstable. Can you hear me now?
Yes. So my third one is called Another Spring, or The Awakening of Spring.
All right.
The sky lingers in my head as my dreams do. The sweet breeze of summer comes past the window and is like a warm hand taking me by the elbow and telling me, "Go out. Here is another spring for you." The fresh air in the surrounding warmth reminds me of the time when I was a baby, when only sensations mattered, and the sound of the cars afar tell me that it's gonna be all right. The vast emptiness of humankind is sometimes swept by all the sensations surrounding us. The smell, the hearing, the touch. I feel like a dog without a leash, seeing, smelling, exploring the flowers, the summer breeze, the gentle promise of love that is in all that I can see. The happiness I have inside, hidden like a secret fire, leads me to countries unseen and clears all the idleness away, leaving only the blue sky in my eye that envelops me and has become my entire self, body. I melt with the open sky and fly like an angel that has just rediscovered her wings. I'm surprised and yet do not doubt of the power of the awakening of spring.
The Renaissance, le printemps, voila, the return of spring. Great, Claire.
Thank
It's
you,
one way
Mo.
to it's one way to hang on to one's pleasure and vision, like you said, with all the noise around you and all that, It's great. So thank you, Claire, and hang on for the second round. And now we will go to again to Brooklyn, to the host of Brownstone Poets. And last week I had the pleasure of meeting Patricia live in person at a poetry reading, her and Roxanne and Prince McNally. Well, and so here we are with Patricia from Brownstone Poets. And
Okay. I'm going to read an oldie from this book, and I'm going to read 2 new poems. The Shabbat Eve. The sun exits the auburn sky, the lamb seasoned for the ritual, a miracle wrapped in a towel born from yeast, flour, and eggs. Aromatherapy dances around a table set for one. She covers her head with a mother's scarf made from Vilna's tattered lace. She covers her eyes, prays over the candles. She visualizes what could have been and wishes life were different. Okay. This is a new poem I just finished tweaking today, inspired by Billie Holiday, All the Way. In old photo albums, Kodak blinks, archived, stiffened smiles and postures. The commands of cheese documented life's hidden potholes. His mom's parents taking turns at the wheel. Some pages had bent edges, others retired from plastic spirals. Some photo corners MIA, others on their last grip. He touched a photo of his mom, innocence at the age of 2. She grew up to be an outsider, a single mom taught to serve, live for others, not for herself, never draw outside the lines or speak out of tune. But she was his mom, his redwood tree amid the maples and oaks, his broken mom with infinite strength and love, deeper than the Atlantic and Pacific. He touched a photo of himself, innocence at the age of 2, pre-selfie days before bullies tried to steal his power. He fought back, went all the way to the top of his class, graduated with honors, won a scholarship to NYU, started his IT business, survived the NYC lockdown. He'd hum along to her favorite song, Lady Days All the Way. Thank you, he'd say to himself. Thank you, Mom. You were the tallest tree and deepest ocean. Rest in glory, Mom. Rest in power.
The deepest tree, deeper than the Atlantic or the Pacific. Yo, that was really a good dedicated poem, Patricia. Thank you. Now,
I get pictures when I listen to things. It's not about me. I get pictures of somebody else. Like maybe I'm hitting on somebody, and telepathy is moving in certain directions.
well, did your mother get to hear this poem?
My mom is dead since 2016. We had a
So-
bad relationship.
Right. Okay. Just needed to ask that because it was
It's okay.
such a good character and dedication. Dedicate 3's a charm, Patricia.
Okay, a haiku I wrote today.
Cool.
Clouds cover sky, wait for storm's arrival. Leaves, wind dance. Clouds cover sky, wait for storm's arrival. Leaves, wind dance.
Okay. All right, let's give her some applause. Good to hear. All right, short but sweet on that last one. Leaves, wind dance. They sure do. They're great when they go in that like whirlpool in the air. I don't know how they do that, but they do it. All right, very nice. And now I believe it's my turn. And what I would first, like, since we were talking about environments and how we, like Jane and others talked about how they feel in environment, I want to read a poem that I dedicated to an American woman.
Can't hear you, Mo.
You can't. Well, I'm sorry. I'm speaking directly. Can you hear me now?
Now, yeah.
I guess it's microphone distance today. Okay. I want to dedicate this poem to a dancer who's lived from Indianapolis, Indiana, lived in Paris for 30 years, who I consider the best American jazz singer in Paris.
You have to talk closer to the mic.
This is weird because I haven't moved. Oh, damn it all. How are we doing now?
It's so-so.
Well, maybe I'm not
Now
meant
it's perfect. Now it's perfect.
It's perfect,
We-
right? And your vision is very foggy. Was that deliberate?
No, my lens is acting up and I cannot refine it.
Oh my God.
I don't care. I'm the blur poet.
Yay!
I'm here
That's
to
a
blur
poem.
some poets.
That's a poem, the blur
Right.
of poetry.
Okay. So I will repeat. This poem is dedicated to a woman, American woman, jazz singer living in Paris, who I, in my opinion, believe is the best jazz singer in Paris. And her name is Sylvia Sanders Howard. And she got to me one day feeling very depressed. And I wrote this in response to her depression. Dear Sylvia, I wish you to know how many evenings slipping into nocturne, twilight dusk, a gray shadow merging into violet. I trek to the club to hear my favorite singer. I seek more than entertainment, more than art for art's sake. I come looking, listening for consummate satisfaction. Jazz. I need ruckus laughs and then some. I fill with glee generated by one like you who feels the funny side of blue, who bears from inside out a genuine smile. A woman whose giggle and chuckle is what we emit as breath of life. Nobody laughing at each other, but with each other. Call it medicinal. Call it vitamin vivant. Your jokes relaxing, your smile intoxicating as you bring it on home. You, a stunning example of a beautiful woman, a beautiful voice, elegant, eloquent. I need to hear you sing the songs of my restless mind, my troubled soul. Now stir myself so tender center, songs of love and love lost, songs conveying a message, a beacon of hope, resolve in the face of despair. We stay in this game against the odds. You're a woman whose charisma is forged from the fires of trials and try and try and try again. This is musical Zen, elixir. I thrive on testimony, redemption transmitted on voice waves, amplified calls of my scattered family, me, a stranger in a strange land, no longer estranged because of you, born again, birthed in the sweet and bittersweet notes of the ancestors whose legacies flow on the melodic phrase of your wail and coo. Spellbinding, your moans and groans trigger a simultaneous release throughout the crowd as you belt out notes from the primal code of the human race. Harmony. I need to bear up, immerse into community, because no man is an island, and all too often it takes the naked impulse of a woman to recall that which I might put aside for the seemingly pressing calls to transparent routines and anemic rituals. I need to scrap compulsions, to list my shortcomings before this condemning judge, my deranged consciousness. I need to exit the suffocating quagmire of dollar down, dollar a month, never enough to quiet the ceaseless demands of the uphill climb against downtown winds, just to find myself one brick shy of a load. I need to witness that call and response that bind us, you and I, all those present, all who would be community. I want it known. I walk toward dawn through empty nights, full of vigor, humming phrases you have sung hours earlier. You were here and I was present there and then. So now, sing, lady, sing that song in the dark. I glide home weightless on twin-winged hued lights of silver and onyx against menacing cold. Your songs wrap me warm. I kiss your lips. Imagination enough. Human being human. I carry your treats on the tip of my tongue. Charms. This poet realizes this state precedes language.
Mo, we can't hear you. Yeah.
You're muted, Mo.
We can't hear you, Mo.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, yes.
This fucking machine is going nuts. But I would end this with you are the exchange for your value. I offer a measurable manner of magic.
Well, you're not muted,
You have
but
to
we
speak
can't
near the
hear you.
mic.
Oh, fuck this. I am so close to this mic today.
That's
So,
perfect now. Perfect.
yeah, but see, now I am no closer than before, so the mic is not working right. So we will just, I tried to conclude with that poem. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. You see, I wasn't moving. The mic goes on and off. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Okay.
A wired connection.
Okay. Um,
Maybe the audio, because that's what happened to my computer. The audio was going.
Okay. Anyway. Okay. Now, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to refer something to what Jane wrote about the Beat Hotel. So I will not read the entire poem. I will just read two quick stanzas that I believe are in league in memory with what Jane wrote. And out of this poem, what is jazz? And it goes, jazz is chump change and scratch is chewing through the gristle to suck on the bone. Jazz is a holler, a cat call a hymn, dollar down, dollar a month. Why I'm so broke I can't pay attention. Jazz is red wine, white wine, up in smoke, raising Cain, strung on dope. Jazz is singing my lust life in the shower. Okay, so, that's yeah, that's an excerpt that I think chimes in. But I hope you might agree, Jane. Okay, so now my last poem, since we have begun to get so romantic. We've talked about love, unconditional, whole lot of love, to offer, given the fact that ideal love has never come my way. And I've never met unconditional love, though people talk about it, because I'm not sure it exists. Good job, actually. Here, take it, place it in the palm of your hand. Sleep on it, dream. Here does not require nor oblige. The meaning of this act, its rewards, light to your soul. May I sing your song and smile? Here, freely given, freely received, feast your eyes, the spark of life, the mystery. Here, it comes, it goes, it wants your touch. Here, behold, of Christ. Here, one moment, bliss, weightless love. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, those were my contributions, and thank you for listening. And again, what can I say? I'm sorry for technology about this audio and this lens, but the rest of you are sounding good. So, 8 out of 9. That's good, man.
Mo, I think it has
What?
to. I think it has to do with the way you hold your head. If you look down, we can't hear you. If you look, right now, you're perfect.
Well, the thing is, it's not functioning because I've looked up and down many a times while I was reading, and it never disrupted like this. So I will try to keep my head fixed in one place, Bill. So okay, so let's take 5, and know that Patricia is doing Brownstone Poets, and that Narcelle just published a
See you
book,
later, Jane.
and Jane is probably doing something very interesting in Boston, and Claire has been writing hot off the press, and Caroline wrote some stuff from the nape of my neck to the small of my back. Ooh. And Bill was in there in Florence, the ideal vacation place. And of course, Dave. I'm going to bring the light no matter how dark it gets. So if any of that spurs you on, have a little conversation for a few minutes, and we'll come back with the second round.
Okay. See you later, Jane. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you.
Thank you all. See you
Bye,
next
Jane.
time.
Yeah.
Bye,
Why,
Jane.
who are you leaving, Jane?
Yeah, I got a roll. I got a gig.
Yeah.
Wait,
Good
tell
for
us
you,
about
girl.
Have a great
tell
gig.
us
Break a
about
leg.
Enjoy.
Oh, thanks. It's let's see, it's 5 pieces. It's improvised music and spoken word. So it's just see how it rolls and go with the flow.
right.
All right.
It'll go
I'll
very
post it
well.
when it's ready. All right, man. Peace. Thanks, y'all.
Peace, Jane. Bye for now. Thanks for coming.
Word.
Word
Word.
up. Word,
Bye,
girl.
Patricia.
Yeah. And by the way, her and Albie recorded 9 of my jazz poems on music tracks, for what they proposed will be the next album, me reciting my jazz poems. And that Albie is something else on bass. He is there with every standard melody, and he is there for every free verse. And so he's quite a gifted bass player. And
Yeni hüzünler takıyorum koluma delicesine. Efkarlı bir hasrete kuruyorum bütün saatleri. İçimde yılkı atları rüzgarlara eş. Esrik, kanayan bir öyküdür yaşadığımız. Kanar aşkımız lal rengi bir şarapta. Güneş ışığından benim giysilerim, epremiş vicdanlar dikemez. Söyleyin. Thank you.
yes, thank you very much. Applause, please, on that. Well, actually, I mean,
Thank you.
so I would jump on you. Now, here we go. Let's render this bleeding stories. Your voice falls into the deep well in my soul. I live the night with a rose distraction. My heart can't stand its flow to another heart. You caused deep pain when you left. The light of my sorrow leaks. I'm wearing new sorrows on my arm madly. I'm setting all the hours in a wistful longing. Yeeky horses are equal to the winds. What we live is a story that bleeds ecstatic. Our love for Canal is in a garnet wine. My clothes from the sun tell me that old consciousness can't sew. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Narcelle. Very nice. Thank you very much. Okay, now can we go to Bill? Two
Yeah,
up from
thank you, Mo. Okay, so Like I said, I brought with me here to Florence poems that I had translated into Italian, but I will spare you my Italian. I have two daughters, and this first one is called Firstborn. The first time I saw you wet and red and oh so beautiful, I felt a flood of tenderness like I'd never felt before. We took you to be washed, a nurse and I, with the focus the whole time on you. I think she may have been beautiful, that nurse, but she paled next to you. Tinkly piano music in the hall, and I promised piano lessons. You screamed and wept until I said, but only if you want. The nurses fought for the right to take care of you, coddle you. Full head of hair, some said, was predicted by your mother's indigestion. From then on, I love it all, the privilege of you, the soft and the hard. I loved how you were so smart when we were pals and played together. Older when my sister laughed through tears at your lost baby teeth. So big since last she'd seen you, and bigger then, on holiday at a beach town, serious and happy, proud of your opinions. Such a good week. And then the wrong school, evil teacher, bad classmates, the start of a bad adolescence. And sometimes I cried from your pain. That bad Spanish teacher, and I was on crutches and couldn't have done what I now almost wish that I had, busted open his satisfied head. Sometimes teaching attracts sadistic psychopaths and those who just hate kids. You hated me sometimes. I never hated you. I feared for your future, hoped you safe. Another one I wished I'd hit, but that bad boyfriend pointed you towards life. And now I see you grown, responsible and cool. In short, a woman on her way. It's been so good, so bad, so hard, so easy, and a precious treasure in my life.
Okay. Oof. It's a tough lesson. All right. Okay. It always seems to start out so well. Oof. Okay, Bill, number 2, please.
Okay, and this is called Puelula Secunda, second little girl. Little monster, square and white like a Teletubbies freak show, wrapped up like a baby mummy, chrysalis of beauty. Soon you became so cute and athletic. Little kids can do so much. I've watched you master your poor loser temper, learn how to be. 3 little boys came up from downstairs to plead the cause of one. They couldn't grasp a father's job. I gently told the other 2 it wasn't nice to embarrass their cousin like that, and didn't relay the candidature. I've seen how all your friends adore you, how you try to make things smooth. In appearance like me, but as a girl and with a better nature. But life is different for girls and different here from where I'm from. Still seeking like I was at your same age and loving life more than career. Your being you has made life sweet. You are a jewel, tall girl of mine. And now you too are grown. Where are my babies going? I love to see you going on and hope the future treats you well. You're better than your doubts. You're better than this made up world. I hope you come to make your turns, exact the gold from this common ore, and never let them dull you down. Don't let them choose when you know best. Thank you.
Bill, get right. Have your daughters read that?
Yeah.
And did they give you a reaction?
Well, yeah. My older daughter had to leave the room so that I wouldn't see her emotion.
Okay. Then it landed, huh?
I guess.
Yeah. And teenage daughters, they're not going to disclose a lot to their fathers.
No.
When my daughter was a teenager, she was non-disclosure person until I wasn't around, and then where are you? Where are you? Okay, thank you, Bill. And now we're gonna move from Italy to Baghdad by the Bay, San Francisco, with David. David, you're on for 2.
Okay, good. Thank you. Really good to be here with all of you. Cave dweller. Cave dweller hides away the day, grumbles through this tangled head of hair, eyes that hurt from seeing things too hard, mind in need of restored calm. Blackened sticks like dreams against the wall, opened head where awesomeness abounds, smiling as that's all there is to do, crying overwhelmed by hopeless odds, hoping that the learning holds a key, graceful hands pass through air with wand, hot day within this cave of stone, fire glazed behind these listless eyes, waiting for the rising of the moon.
Okay. Back to the moon. Love it. Love it. Give Mother Luna her due.
Yeah,
And I'm into the moon and Luna because I'm a lunatic.
me too. Okay,
Okay, Dharma, you're up for number 2.
yes, I'm just tracking it down right here.
Okay.
Let's try this one. This is called Troll Hole. Troll holding sticks in the air, talking in code, concerning faces that gleam eye from not quite there, across the room, the shuddering disposition, the twisted path to tangled thickets many, where the vulture crows caw, and painters' canvases absorb paint and sun rays, and eye mind thought vision reconstructions. The light yellow sun is pale in the moonlight, and the stars gleam in constellations, and all the night animals and airs and feelings are all around, menacing to the menaced, awesome, beautiful, poetic love, I suppose, to those who are happy and in balance. The days of sticks are nigh at hand, and keen to make a stand, away from here, out into the world, to find out what the place is like, and discover the true higher meaning of troll caves and troll holes on all levels from all directions.
And I hope my leprechaun leads me to a pot of gold. What was it? Billy Goat Troll
That's what
under the
I'm hoping
bridge?
too.
Remember that?
The three trolls, and the Billy Goat's gruff. Yeah, no, the Billy Goat gruff. Yeah, that
Was it
goat.
the Billy Goat under the bridge and you had to answer his riddle or something?
No,
Remember
no,
that?
no. The goats were coming along trying to cross the bridge, and the troll beneath the bridge, or the trolls, were demanding their just tribute and payment before they would allow the goat to cross their bridge.
And what was the end of that story?
I'm not sure. I think we're gonna have to look it up. Gonna have to look that one up.
Okay, because I think the goats win, right? The bad guy troll loses, I think.
Usually the troll is usually
The
the
first
villain.
Billy Goat Gruff says, "I'll only be a mouthful to you.
Yeah.
Wait till my big brother comes along, then you'll have a full meal." And the second Billy Goat Gruff says, you know, okay, if you eat me, you might be satisfied, you might not. Wait till my big brother comes along. That'll be a banquet for you. And the big brother comes along and kills the troll because he's so big.
Kicks their
Okay,
ass.
there you go. justice is served. Thank you, Bill. That was quick.
Thanks, Bill, for
All
running
right.
that down for us.
Yeah. All right. So next we have Carolina. Hello, Carolina.
Hey,
Hey.
so I will read this time in Spanish.
Sí, está bien.
It will be two love poem. The first one is from Juan Gelman, who's a poet from Argentina, and he went during the dictatorship.
Yes.
He lost his son in jail, and well, he wrote very beautiful poems.
Yes.
So this one is a love one.
Just to reference Caroline, for anybody who doesn't know, in the 70s, a coup of generals took over Argentina and overthrew Juan Perón, who was 1 minute right wing, 1 minute left wing. They took over for control and they just rounded every dissident up and murdered many. And there are still protests in Mother's Square in Buenos Aires about find us the disappeared ones.
Yeah,
Still going on.
the disappeared ones and the stolen children's
Hmm.
children in Argentina. There was almost 500 stolen children, and well, once I will traduce a poem I wrote about stolen children in Spain. There was 300,000 children stolen there
Right.
during all the dictatorship and until 87.
Yes.
More than 10 years after the church went on stealing children until they changed the law to adopt children to protect them. So this is a genocide unknown, and
And
it's
many of these children in Argentina, in Spain, in the Ottoman Turk Empire, were stolen and raised by the very fascist regime people who decided we'll have children and we'll raise them in a world that, in our world.
Mm, it's
Okay,
really
so
it's really very, yeah, it's
okay,
really a genocide, a political one.
yes,
That yeah, it's also a religion one, because
religious,
they wanted to raise them in the Catholic faith.
yeah,
So
because they were the children of leftists, socialists, and Marxists. I
yeah,
get it.
mm,
Okay, let's hear the first one then, Caroline,
yeah.
please.
So the first one is one of Juan Gelman, and it's called Fábricas del Amor 2. Alza tus brazos, ellos encierran a la noche, desátala sobre mi sed. Tambor, tambor, mi fuego, que la noche nos cubra con una campana, que suene suavemente a cada golpe del amor. Entiérrame la sombra, lávame con ceniza, cávame del dolor, límpiame el aire. Yo quiero amarte libre. Tú destruyes el mundo para que esto suceda. Tú comienzas el mundo para que esto suceda.
Wow. Gracias, gracias. Excelente. Tengo mi fuego, mi fuego. Tengo mi fuego. Pass it on. Pass on your fire. Number 2, Carolina.
Pues number
Número,
And the
Número
second one
dos.
will be the Spanish version of the first poem no, of one of the poems I read in the first round. It was the one with the hand on the back. So
Romántica.
yeah. Deja tu mano en mi cintura. It's the title. So, su mano en mi cintura. Oh, se Joalia. Mi corazón sonríe como al llegar en casa. Desde la parte baja de mi espalda me dejo llevar por su mano. Me enrollo en su tierno brazo. Tan dulce amar. Espera. Soy soltera. ¿Qué? El beso en mis labios se desvía hasta su mejilla. El tiempo de volver al presente, recuperar mis sentidos y arrepentimiento.
Ooh, yes, yes. Okay, people, and this is a fair question, no experts. Of the French version and the Spanish version, do y'all think one was more romantic sounding than the other, or were they both equal in your ears? Okay. I just thought that the way Caroline read this second one, because she was already warmed up, my God, I was hanging on every syllable. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. We have to say thank you, merci et gracias, to our trilingual poet from Paris, Caroline. Thank you very much. Okay, and now we will stay in Paris
See you later,
in the
Bill.
dark evening night with Claire Andriani. Hello, Claire.
Hey everyone, so happy to be there. So I have a poem that I read a few weeks ago that is being published in the Opiate, if you're familiar with this online magazine. And I was wondering if you want, I can send you the link if you're interested in reading it.
From the Opiate, yes.
Yes? Okay. So I'm going to send it to you now. Here
It's on. We have it.
Great. So they put a beautiful image with it. It's like a mythological image. And so it's called Nectar of the Gods. Take the words out of your mouth like a nectar from the gods. Take the silence of the night as a sign the world you should adore. Take the rising baby's cries as a hope of reawakening, and the sweet breeze of the mountain as a secret to be keeping. Take the useless laughter as a sign of departure. Take the fools and drunkards as the models of failure. Take the pain in the heart as a sign you are living. Take the howls of the owl as an explanation why this world you should adore, and can't to fore till you jump in the water and wet your sacred fur to taste the glittering purple secrets of the gods, the nectar of inspiration, the eternal night we adore.
Whoa. That kind of night is adorable. The purple nectar of the gods. Oh, yes. Okay, Claire, number 2 from you.
Thank you. My second one is a vision I had. You know, in Alice in Wonderland, in Lewis, what's his name? Lewis Carroll's?
Lewis Carroll.
Yeah, Lewis Carroll. There's a little girl. The origin of the story is that this little girl falls asleep, and she dreams all sorts of things. And in my vision, it was very near to that situation. There's a woman, a little girl who falls asleep and dreams of what kind of childhood she could have in nature, far away from her family. So it's called Faraway Dreams, and it starts like this. Her cheeks are red like a child from the fields. Her eyes follow the landscape quickly. The train reminds her of her thoughts, quick and intrepid. They move through the fields with merriment, like a strange ghost gliding on the surface. Children like to rest under a tree and find comfort and protection there. They only have to extend one arm to pick a pear or an apple. They are like animals seeking rest in the shade, where they can see the sun bathe the fields like a golden coat, shining under the good rays of summer, promising food and relief. They feel safe in this place where they don't have a name. They are detached from their civilian selves and can live by instinct, following their guts or their chests, leading them to goodness. They don't know what pain is in this place where they merge with the earth and become one with the universe. At night, in their antique homes smelling like ginger and garlic, the mothers shout out their names, panicked at the idea they disappeared. Thomas, Madeleine, John. And they look at each other's eyes in the wide depth of it, as if to find an answer they couldn't find anywhere else. They also look for pity and compassion, the signs that they are not alone in their disarray, a friendly hand to touch, a deep look on one's pale face. They are looking for them frantically, convinced that their sons and daughters cannot survive without them, not knowing that they are disturbing their children's pact with nature, their authentic path to their natural selves. But the little boys and girls will never come back from their trip. Not needing a name to exist, they chose Mother Nature to protect them. And they run wildly, their hair following them in the wind, like old traces of smoke disappearing. They shout hooray and dance like little Indians, starving but merry, and they smile at the disappearing sun, hiding its nose under the horizon, praying for another day of freedom. The little savages, motherless and united in their desire to taste freedom and independence till they can't count the days. When she woke up, her red cheeks turned pale. It was but a dream. And the train followed its course wearily, without complaining, quiet, like her dull thoughts, stifling under the weight of forgetfulness, her worst enemy.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And I read a reference that the version that most people read in Alice in the Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland, omits some very savage elements of the original story.
Yeah.
Very, very numerous acts of extreme cruelty. And when we talk about children again being kidnapped or abused, the original Pied Piper of Hamelin, the original story is the Pied Piper played his flute, his pipe, and was not rewarded by the villagers. So he played a magic song that drew all the children out of the village, and in a sense, through his pipe song, removed all the children from their lives and made them regret that they didn't acknowledge him. So some of the original versions of these sweet fairy tales are not so sweet. They were lessons, moral lessons. Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, Claire and Adrienne. Okay, now we will cross the waters, cross the Atlantic, and go back to Brooklyn, New York, and bring on Patricia Kerrigan again. Hello, Patricia. We're back.
Okay. 2 poems? How much should we read? 2
Two
poems?
poems. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Emptiness. The empty room pretends to be what it's not, a chamber full of exquisite possibilities, but Gordian knots keep it unfulfilled. Yet an empty chair does exist, occupying space. Does it occupy its purpose for an empty person to seek solace in a crowd of inner space? This is from Journey to the Center of My Mind. This was written back in 2004.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm going to read something from 2002, Crucifixion. You came from nowhere, an alien with a sense of precognition, emerging out of innocent dreams best left to storytellers who entertain the children born of children who still believe in the mystical promise, born out of hope and despair's wedlock. We all are citizens from your place of birth. Life is conceived from the same place. Each day is a question that breeds another, without any answers to stop them from coming, since our stories are made up by strangers, secretly watching over us, passing judgment in their favor. They prepare the lambs for their sins, while retribution retreats for a holiday, far from the crucifixion of life at the stroke of crisis.
Whoa.
2005. Can't believe I wrote this. I haven't read these poems in years.
Well, that was a poem. As we know, music.
Can't hear you.
Okay, that was a poem. I'm still not heard. No.
Come closer to the mic. Do what you can.
I'm very close to the mic.
We lost you.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
How
you're
about
back.
now?
Now we can hear you. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. So I'll just jump into, can you hear me again?
Yes.
I'll just jump into my two poems. Okay. Isabel came to dinner, all in black and feline gray. Her Spanish accent, thick and wet. A glass of wine, dark Bordeaux, the color of her lips. Isabel came to dinner. She lit a big cigarette. I watched the ashes fall into a porcelain cup. I watched her brush her teeth with a sweet tongue. Isabel came to dinner alone. He wandered through the room, her chestnut eyes split half closed, low fires burning, those eyes, moonlight underwater. Isabel came to dinner. She stayed late, tossing our voices back and forth. We mixed our words. In the key of G, tango in the sitting room. Isabel came to dinner. She rose in midnight leather boots. I expected a mantilla. She laughed in my face. Taunted, I whispered, shall we go later? A candle burning, the sleeping rose. So, okay, it might have been heard. Okay. What it is. Okay. Another romantic poem. Am I heard at this moment? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, say yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right.
Yes.
Wow. Strange. Your kiss shot through me like a heat-seeking missile fixed on pleasure. Your breath fanned my flame. The blood in my tongue caught fire. Your kiss put back the light in my eyes. I am shining and bright. I see the road back home in centuries of stone. 1,000 years have passed, and still I know you by your touch, your taste, your smell. Our embrace pleased fickle Paris such. She paused to starlight smile. She blew a perfumed breeze and filled the air with wind song. Your kiss solved mysteries, stirred in my vague dreams of exile across sands of time, adrift in a sea of solitude under midnight skies. I sang your song in the darkness. Your kiss is ageless, its taste of herbs and oils, a balm to my lips, a salve to my soul. Your kiss was brief, and then you gone. Here I am, I stand alone upon the rock of ages, come and gone, where river spills into her ocean, spellbound still, I let go, the dam of my desires, bursts of bittersweet streams, waltz upon the waves that carry you home. I love you so this Sunday night, a full enlightened, a poet driven to the brink of beautiful sorrow. The coming dawn shall feel the sun gently press its lips upon. The quiet nocturne surrenders all. Okay, that was heard. Just glad it was heard. Thank you for listening. Well, that's been all of us, all 9 of us tonight. Kareem lost battery power, and Bill had wake up early for a class he's giving in the morning. So anyway, on behalf of everybody, we got to thank Bill and Nurse Cell, thank you, and Kareem, thank you, and Dave, thank you, and Patricia, thank you, and Claire, thank you, and I believe, and
Jane.
huh?
Jane.
Jane.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you beat me to and Jane. And I want to thank myself for showing up. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, as I do, I will write a brief summary of this dynamic reading and post a song that I think in some way relates to what we have expressed. I will recall some repeating images that we've talked about again this evening in some cities, this morning in another city, this afternoon in yet another city. So we were the World Cafe. So we'll be back next Sunday, and I want to say, everybody, thank everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you,
See you
everybody.
again.
Stay
See you
safe.
again.
Body.